Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another scene set in Chronicles of Darkness Vampire Requiem, a Requiem for London. It is a very quiet night in Camden. There is little car or foot traffic. It is cloudy and dreary, and the few people who appear to be on the streets appear to be in a state of doldrums and gloom. Charlie, you have been preparing for what is to come. And you have a moment at St. Rivers with Fane. A few moments to discuss things with her before you have to go.
So, how do y'all want to play this? Are you just wanting the door opened, or
You said you knew a way in, yes?
she nods?
Just get us in.
She nods again. Uh, can you give us a minute before you rush in, guns blazing?
If you think he won't kill you on sight, be my guest.
If he does, then that's a hell of a distraction for y'all to come in afterwards.
I have no intention of losing more Sanctified to this war. We've all suffered enough.
I'd be inclined to agree, but come on, we both know him. He's gonna monologue at us anyway. You might as well get it out of his system.
Fine. You know him better than I anyway. Do you need anything of your own?
Uh, is that this is more of a ST question? Is that fancy blood axe gonna be a thing?
You can request a fancy blood axe.
I would like the fancy blood axe.
Do you ask for
Yes.
a sacred weapon of the Sanctified most holy servants?
Yes.
Excellent. Well, when you put it like that, she's more than happy to comply. She looks at you, but intrigued. You cannot do such a thing for yourself?
That was never quite great with the whole. She kind of wiggles her fingers. Sorcery aspect of things.
Well, I suppose not all of us take to it. She will take a moment. She builds some space between you and her. She stands in the center of this quiet room. And she begins chanting, almost like a chorister, as blood begins to leave her wrists. And within the span of about 10 seconds, forms into a large blood red axe formed entirely of her vitae. She hands it to you.
Thank you kindly.
You can thank me after this.
She nods. What is like the stat changes for the thing?
So, because you're effectively forming a fire axe out of with this ritual, it will I think it's actually always the same. I think, irrespective of what it looks like, if I can just get the ritual up. I think it is a... It is a +2 lethal weapon. It does not have the statistics of a fire axe. But this would seriously hurt anyone that touched it, including a kindred.
After that's taken care of, she will lead them to the circus. She'll take them to the barn because there is that spot in the kind of front area of the barn that leads to the stage, and she'll basically let them in through there.
No real security down this way, I'd assume.
There's the security offices are upstairs. There's a grate to the sewers. I don't know if they've closed it off with everything that's happened though. I think there was a panic room, or at least one in the design. I don't know if they ended up putting it in or not. But this hallway is really going to be your best bet. If he gets past here, you're kind of SOL.
It should be noted, Charlie, that when you make your way to the church, you're actually joined by someone. I'm just going to put their face claim up. A second Inquisitor, who you are introduced to along the way. Seems like he was waiting for you at the location.
She'll just give him a nod.
Introduces himself as Scarcliffe.
I wish we were meeting under different circumstances.
I think you'll find you'll rarely meet me under any other circumstance.
Understood. I guess right this way.
He seems to say the statement in jest and seems quite amused with himself.
I'm sure it's very funny. Charlie is, however, not really in the mood for jokes.
Yeah, you lead them through the theatre. You know this place like the back of your hand, so it's not really hard to lead them past any security, be it technological or physical. So where do you lead them to?
Can I hear anybody? Like, does it sound like people are milling about, or like, is it kind of a quiet office day? Like, what's the vibe?
It's quite quiet tonight. You picked this day, or you picked this night because there's no performances happening.
So, I feel like I still have Joshua's phone number. Like, I feel like I still have that. Would that be accurate?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yeah, you do.
So, she'll kind of tell everyone to kind of like wait behind the stage, and she'll kind of go walk up onto it and take a seat and just call Joshua.
The phone is answered. You know what?
On
I'm
the
going to
right
be that
and
extra. So, the prodigal daughter.
Hey there, stranger. It's been a while.
What can I do for you, little one?
Can you meet me down on the stage?
Sure. Why don't you just come up?
I miss the stage.
As you like. But yeah, the doors will open a few minutes later, and Joshua will step out. He leans in the doorway. Well, I wondered where you got to.
I've been taking care of myself.
I see.
You've been busy too, though.
You see him smile sadly. It is as it is. War is never easy.
You're right. It's not. And she's been kind of like sitting on the stage, and she'll kind of stand up and walk towards him. And if he allows it, she'll just go and like give him a big bear hug.
Back of your head, and he strokes your hair.
She
There
just
are
sighs.
moments in life and in death, I suppose, wherein you regret what you do because it alienates those who are close to you. I'm sorry for what I've done, and if I have driven you away because of it.
Just tell me you did what you thought was right.
He puts his hands on her shoulders and he kind of leans her back. He looks at her. And for the record, his eyes are very tired and very sad as he says, "What I saw, what my eyes saw, and what I was a part of was so monstrous that even now it's hollowed out a piece in my soul. You would never imagine the horrors that I witnessed. And so, in order to atone, I do what I must. I never wanted to hurt you, and I never wanted to drive you away."
Then it's all okay. We all have our sins to bear. And it's okay. It has to be, right? Whatever we're doing, we have to think it's right in the moment, at least.
War is never right. Bloodshed is never truly right. That's not my way. I don't like violence. I don't particularly like conflict. But I had to stop it.
I grow so
I had to stop
tired.
those people. And a real shudder goes through him. Who did such monstrous things. And I hope that in time, if they chronicle...
Hey guys, happy holidays.
They will
Let me know how I'm doing. You repeat after me. Very simple. You American people don't understand. This is very, very hard, but you...
It's fine.
She'll go and she'll take his hand and she'll lead him onto the stage. And for narrative purposes, there's a spot that, like, the lights are on and there's, like, the show lights and all. And she'll take his hands and she'll look at him, and she also looks very sad and very tired. And she'll say, "I don't think either of us wanted it like this. But we make choices, and we have to prioritize what's more important to us, the individuals or the bigger picture and the more people." And Joshua, I will never let them say that you didn't try. Whatever history comes of this, I know you're not a monster, but you've got to pay for what you've done. We all do, at some point. And I wish it wasn't like this, but you've got to be the one to fix it. Or you're a part of that, and not in a way either of us saw coming, and I'm sorry about that. 'Cause it shouldn't have to be you, but it is.
Life's but a waking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, satisfying nothing. He very calmly strokes her face before he leans in and kisses her on the forehead, and he will say, "You can come out now if you'd like."
She kind of like pulls away from him, and as he says that, she like turns back to the Inquisitors and says, It's all right." And she looks to him and she just, "I'm sorry. It has to be you. And it has to be this."
I forgive you for what it is you feel that you must do.
Then what?
Two Inquisitors emerge, one from around the back of the stage, the other simply drops from above, likely having jumped up to props that hang from above the stage. Joshua, you recognise one but not the other. You recognise Saddam Fane, former sheriff, whom you had quite a heated argument with at the Elysium before everything went to hell. The other is a man you do not recognise, but he is in the garb of a vicar. It's the white collar surrounding him, a pair of spectacles with a red tint, and a cigarette in his mouth. Let me have one question for you.
Which one of them speaks?
It's Saddam who speaks.
I will happily answer it if you will answer one in exchange.
Do you intend to make this scene?
We could fight. I could possibly win. But in the end, that would just be more blood, wouldn't it? I will go quietly, provided that you answer me my question. Is that amenable?
Scarcliffe looks at Fane for a moment. He's on the other side of the stage to her, in a sense, flanking in a sense, a very wide arc, admittedly. She will, with blood-red fists, blood-red hands, she will gesture as if to allow you to say your piece.
Do not lie. For after all, consider this the last confession I will take. He looks at Thane. You saw what they were doing. You with your own eyes. You saw the monstrosity, the horror. You saw it, you know it, though you may lie to yourself. My question to you is, do you think you are supporting this vile, corrupt regime bought with peace at the blood of hundreds, thousands? Do you think that God will judge you for what it is that you have done? And will it not weigh heavy upon your soul?
I don't know. I've never been good at answering questions like that. I don't know what God will do with me once this is all over. All I know is that we have to end this madness before it spreads even further.
I still hear their screaming, laying against the edge of my hearing. Those innocent souls who were fodder, so much fodder. And in that moment, when I signed my soul away, in the shard I knew I was damned. Come now, sister. He turns and opens his arms. Send me on to my father, so that I may receive his judgment. All the documents, Charlie, are upstairs in my desk. Please see to my legacy, if nothing else.
She nods.
If you think this will buy peace, you are wrong. You are very sadly mistaken. He looks at the Inquisitor. He's not talking to Charlie now. Those who have washed their hands so much in blood. We are the Lord's executioners, hallowed and sanctified. You know that you're damned as much as I do. So send me on to my Father, and into his hands I commend my soul. And he just kind of opens his arms.
Thane doesn't move. She looks at Charlie expectantly.
Oh boy. Charlie will pick up this axe in her hand and kind of weigh it a little, like turn it around and weigh it, and she'll say, "This isn't about buying peace. It's about creating the opportunity for us to make it. And I'm sorry, you're never going to understand that." And with that, she will go for a swing.
Oh, damn. I don't think Joshua is going to dodge, so...
I'm happy to just be torpid in a hit, so she just have to hack away at me.
How do you strike him? Do you just attempt to torpor him, or do you just attempt to decapitate him?
she will... She'll go for center mass, so it'll be basically probably a hit between, like, the shoulders and, like, the chest, kind of in that area, where, like, on a person it would hit, like, one of the major arteries. And I'm assuming... like, first torpor, and then after the torpor, she'll look to the Inquisitors and say, are we finishing them off here or in front of the Ordo?
There is say that particularly happily. She sort of, her eyes sort of drift towards the rose in front of the stage. She says that.
She nods and will just lean down. And I'm assuming he has a cane on him, right?
Mm-hmm.
She'll go and she'll pick it up. And kind of like move some of the hair that's fallen out of his face and just like pretty him up the best she can. That way it's not just this disgusting corpse of a torpor Joshua. And she'll lean down and kiss the corpse, like kiss his forehead the way he did for her, and say, sometimes we gotta do these little performances, but this is better than all the blood they're gonna spill if we don't do something.
The Inquisitors look down upon Joshua's body. Saturn looks at Charlie. And she'll say, "We should go."
You remembered our agreement before, right?
I remember. I remember.
Then let's go.
You made a difficult decision.
It was the only choice. It was this or let so many others die while we try to figure out a better option. And she kind of glances back at the stage and says, even if he doesn't think this will bring peace. I do. And God will judge us once we're done. Whether we're right or wrong, or what we think is right or wrong, it doesn't matter. It's done. And we'll just have to face that judgment when the time comes.
We all have some explaining to do. I don't believe the Synod will appreciate one of their own taking that Inquisition. Besides, things move so quickly. This world is too fast. Miss Barnett,
Yes?
if you would be willing, I would be inclined to introduce you to our High Inquisitor. Once he hears of this, I believe if you wish to have words with you,
Well, there's no point running from what's done.
no. I think that is a sentiment all of us share. And something you will share too. But you are interfering with the plans of mighty powers. Interfering in the plans of mighty powers, and so you will need one of your own. We'll need to move quickly. The crones suffocate us more every night. They will take that pound of flesh from us once this is all said and done. But we have made an important step forward today. Well done, Miss Barnett. There aren't many like you left in our order.
He mentioned some documents. I'm just gonna go up to the office and double check on that. It won't cause any trouble. They'll expect me around eventually. I'll meet up with you guys back at the church.
We will deal with matters on the ground. Take your time.
She goes up to the office and she closes the door and she locks it behind her. And as soon as she does, she just kind of slumps against the locked door and buries her face in her hands and just weeps.
place, setting the scene. Thank you, players for playing, including most gracious guest star. Thank you, watchers, for watching. And we'll see you